Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, we get a preview of the Kansas State Fair with Fair Manager Brian Schultz. We also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, along with the weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
In agricultural news, USDA's Farm Service Agency has updated the Livestock Indemnity Program payment. The update will support livestock producers in the Midwest who lost cattle to the extreme heat and humidity experienced this summer. Now, to help indemnify ranchers to reflect a trend towards higher cattle weights in feedlots, the 2023 Livestock Indemnity Program payment rate for beef calves over 800 pounds, increasing now from $1,244 a head to $1,618, an increase of $374. The program provides benefits to livestock owners and some contract growers for livestock death exceeding the normal mortality from eligible adverse weather events, certain losses, as well as reduced sale prices due to injury from an eligible loss. As well, indemnity payments are made at the rate of 75% of the prior year's average fair market value of the livestock. This updated payment rate, effective immediately, and also will be applied retroactively back to January 1st of this year for any eligible causes of loss, including excess heat, tornado, winter storms, and other qualifying adverse weather. Well, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that Congress will deliver a farm bill, but not likely in September. He says that Congress is running out of working days for the legislative calendar before the current law expires at the end of September. McConnell is one of the highest ranking members of Congress so far to admit the timeline for a new farm bill and is moving past September. When asked about the reauthorization of the 5-year bill, he said, well, we'll figure it out. Now, the current bill does run out September 30th, but it looks like the new deadline for farm legislation will be December 31st, as January 1st, some American farm policies revert to 1940s era controls on production and costly price support of the farm bill does get pushed to 2024, a one-year extension, probably likely because it is a presidential election. Both parties also will be battling for congressional control. McConnell is the minority leader in the Senate. K-State announcing the creation of a new Barry Flinchbaugh Center for Ag Policy. The center honors and continues the work of Dr. Flinchbaugh, who served K-State, the state of Kansas, and the nation as a policy educator for nearly half a century. Flinchbaugh was known for his teaching practices of the alternatives and consequences, the policy of the education model to help policymakers address opportunities and challenges facing agricultural producers. The center is a freestanding organization and works in partnership with the K-State Office of Engagement, will focus on student engagement through lectures, research opportunities, internships, and more. Also core to the center's mission is working with stakeholders in agriculture and the supply chain to identify innovative solutions to current and future challenges facing agriculture and rural communities. The creation of the center was led by several Flinchbaugh former students, the group known as the Flinchbaugh Legacy Keepers. We'll preview the Kansas State Fair when we return.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com.
And joining us now is the executive director of the Kansas State Fair, Brian Schultz. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, it is almost time. It seems like some days it can't get here soon enough. I know, but you and your team work every day leading up to the fair, and then boy, there's about 10 days that it is just in overdrive.
Exactly. Yep. And we're right around the corner from it, and we've already started taking products in for our exhibit areas. So it's here. The carnival showed up, and we're ready to go.
September 8th through the 17th at the, of course, fairgrounds there in Hutchinson. And the town is getting everything prepared and ready to go. And Brian, I know there's a couple of new things or different things. And one of the things I do want to talk about to kind of start off is folks come to the fair this year. We've got that capper building redone, and boys, it looks sharp.
Oh, absolutely. We're so thankful for the Kansas Co-op people and also our foundation for coming together and help raising the funds to redo the House of Capper, and also Co-op Park, which kind of tells the whole story about the Capper-Volstead Act that brought co-ops to the United States. And we're so lucky to have that here. And that piece is very iconic to the fairgrounds, and the way it was laid out and everything. People will just be in awe when they come and see it.
Well, it looks great. We're looking forward to seeing it in person. And Brian, the thing about a state fair is it kind of is a culmination not only for 4-H and FFA kids, but also maybe neighbors to bring in and do a little bragging, but also see how you compare with folks. And that could be from produce to, of course, a lot of time is spent in the livestock barns, a lot of competitions. And so that's kind of, it seems like in its own little world, but there's something for everyone at the state fair.
Most definitely, yes. When you're talking competitions, from your jams to jellies to the quilts, and then once you get into the livestock area, that first weekend is our Grand Drive weekend, which is just our barns are just loaded with livestock of every species. So we're really excited about that, getting the kids out here, getting them involved in the fair and showing their animals. So we can't wait to have them all on the grounds.
Well, it is all those things that go on, but also, there's a time to maybe look at some of the equipment that's there. Folks bring in all kinds of vendors, and so plus it's a way to get your steps in too.
Yeah.
You can see a lot, and but it's not spread out too far.
Yes, that's exactly right. We make sure that there's lots of opportunities for you to stop, check out things, from our food concessionaires to our outdoor vendors to being able to jump on the State Fair Railroad and take a tour of the grounds, go on the Sky Ride, take a tour over the grounds, checking that out. So it gives you a great opportunity of seeing lots and lots of different things, like you said, from agricultural equipment to the newest, latest, and greatest whammo chamois, or whatever it is over in the vendors. There's just something for everybody.
Ryan Schultz is the general manager of the Kansas State Fair. It's coming up in just a few days, getting underway September 8th. We'll take a quick break, come back with more in just a moment.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
And Brian Schultz, general manager of the Kansas State Fair, is joining us. The fair will run September 8th through 17th in Hutchinson. And boy, as we talk about everything going on in the fair, you can either spend a lot of time in one side or the other, but there's also a lot of entertainment. And that's one thing that's kind of neat too, as you go around. You don't have to go too far to be entertained at the state fair.
That's exactly right. We've got two permanent stages. We have the People's Bank and Trust Arena, And then we also have the Loan Corporation free stage at Lake Talbot. That brings in entertainment from across Kansas. I mean, we bring in some phenomenal entertainment. So people that want to take a little bit of a break throughout the day, hear some great music, watch a juggler. We have Ron Diamond on the People's Bank and Trust Arena, and he brings in a great crowd himself. But, we also have some great entertainment on other areas, like over in Gottschalk Park this year. We have iFlip, which is an aerial acrobatic team that comes in and does aerial shows. They do the tramp, speed tramp, where they do cartwheels and flips all the way down this like 40+ foot trampoline. They also have the tramp wall, where they're falling off the top of a building onto a trampoline into the wall. So it's a great entertainment. We have robo cars. These are two vehicles. One of them is a police car. One of them is an ambulance or fire truck, and they transform into a human so kids can interact with them. So that's really cool. We also have X Pogo, which is a pogo stick show, and they can go up to like 40 feet in the air with these gas-powered pogo sticks that just, give them a little bit of extra lift. And then, just lots of, we have the Kenny A. Hearn stage. We have our petting zoo. We've got just a ton of different things on the grounds for people to see. And just like I said, take a little bit of a break, grab a Pronto Pup and maybe your favorite adult beverage or a lemonade and sit down and relax a little bit and find your next location that you want to check out here at the fair.
Let's talk about tickets, ticket prices, ticket availability.
Absolutely. Our tickets will go up in price as of Thursday night, the 7th at midnight. Right now, you can save up to 30%. Your advanced child tickets are $4, advanced adult tickets are $7, senior tickets are at $4, and state employees are at $4. We also have special deals for the military. And also, we've got like our season passes. We've got where you can get all 10 days for $50. The Dillon's Dollar Day wristband specials. We have Midway wristband specials. So the best thing for you to do if you're looking at coming to the fair is to go out to our website, kansasstatefair.com. Check out all of the deals that are out there. It's a great opportunity to save money. We also have special days like our kickoff day on Friday. We have, thanks to our friends at the Kansas Department of Aging and Disabilities, anyone 55 or older gets in for $2. On Saturday is Tech Day here out at the fair. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary. One Oak is our sponsor on Sunday. Monday, it's Dillon Dollar Day. So if you have the dollar or the app or the little plastic piece on your keys, you get in for free, or if not, it's $1. On Chiefs Red Friday, if you are a member of the Kansas Lottery Play On, show that app at the front gate and you get in for $2. So lots of opportunities for you to get in inexpensively, and just check out all the great deals out on our website.
Sounds great. And Brian, there's great parking availability. It's not that bad to get in and out, and everybody works together so we can all have a good experience. And so, Brian, again, I know you've got lots to do, so thanks for spending some time with us. Look forward to seeing you here at the Kansas State Fair.
Absolutely. We're just right around the corner. So thanks for having me on today, and check out our website.
Brian Schultz, General Manager of the Kansas State Fair, has joined us. Again, State Fair is September 8th through 17th at the Kansas State Fairgrounds in Hutchinson. We'll have more coming up in just a moment.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
September is Food Safety Education Month, and food safety for all Kansans is part of the mission for the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Often people are surprised that food safety and restaurant inspections fall under the Department of Ag. But we know that food and agriculture are closely tied together, and we work to ensure a safe food supply throughout the entire food supply chain, from the fields to your plates. Foodborne illness still causes 3,000 deaths, 128,000 hospitalizations, and 48 million illnesses each year in the U.S. Our food safety and lodging program works with food wholesalers, food manufacturers, grocery stores, convenience stores, restaurants, food trucks, and other food operations across the state, so that they all understand and follow the Kansas Food Code, which has recently been updated, as we strive to keep consumers safe from foodborne illness. Preparing and selling high-quality, safe food begins with well-trained and knowledgeable food service workers. So we provide educational materials in a variety of ways. Our Food Protection Task Force uses workshops, webinars, and newsletters to expand knowledge on subjects like the Food Inspection Program, food recalls, and other issues. We have created dozens of fact sheet handouts for food service establishments to use for staff training and ongoing education, and we have translated these handouts so that they're available in Spanish and Chinese in addition to English. Our food safety staff travels the state presenting Focus on Food Safety workshops where they share key steps to preventing foodborne illness in Kansas. Find more about food safety, including the fact sheet handouts and information about the Food Protection Task Force, at agriculture.ks.gov/food-safety. During Food Safety Education Month this September, we thank our Kansas food establishments for keeping us safe and healthy.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Soy as an ingredient has a lot to offer. Important nutrients, health benefits, versatility, and it is grown in fields right here in the U.S. The Kansas Soybean Commission wants to share with consumers all that soy foods have to offer. There are numerous opportunities available now and in the next few weeks. The KSC-sponsored Kansas Soybeans as a Food program is open for family and consumer science teachers to enroll and earn reimbursement for soy foods or animal protein used in their classroom kitchens. Teachers must complete the application form online or submit the paper application by September 30th. The Commission then reimburses the school $3 per student up to a total of $400 with proof of receipt at the end of the semester. Animal protein is allowable under the program up to 50% of the total funds spent. Lesson plan ideas revolving around soybeans and sample soy food recipes come as added bonuses for participating. Details and forms are available at www.kansassoybeans.org/FCS. Those outside of a classroom can enjoy a live Cooking with Soybeans demonstration at the Kansas State Fair. You may have seen Charlene Patton on TV sharing delicious, nutritious recipes featuring soy ingredients. Now you can be there in person and receive a free gift for attending the demonstration, which begins at noon, September 12th. It all takes place in the Domestic Arts Building on the west side of the fairgrounds. If you want to get in on the action, the Invent a Heart Healthy Food competition is returning to the State Fair this year. This KSC-sponsored competition encourages home cooks to create a recipe using at least 1/2 cup of a soy ingredient in one of 3 categories: entree, snacks, or desserts. Build your recipe and bring the food item to the Domestic Arts Building at the fair from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. September 12th. Top recipes receive a cash prize and a feature on one of Patton's TV segments. Find additional competition details at www.kansassoybeans.org/judging. Let's enjoy some soy in all our favorite foods.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
everyone. Maddie Meyer here with the Kansas Grain Sorghum Update. Starting off with the crop progress report from the USDA, a majority of the sorghum crop remains in good condition. Currently, 63% of the crop has headed out compared to 50% last year. The total harvest is projected to be at over 3 million acres, up 13% from last year. Yields are forecasted to be at 73 bushels an acre compared to 2022's 34 bushels. This month, we've really hit the ground running across the state of Kansas, connecting with our growers, leaders, and industry partners. We attended the High Plains Journal Sorghum U Wheat U in Wichita, where our very own Kansas Grain Sorghum Producers Association President Kent Winter and Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission Chairman Brent Peterson joined wheat farmers Michael Peters and Brent Olek for a farmer panel where they discussed farm policy, management practices, and more. We also heard a lunchtime keynote from KWCH Chief Meteorologist Ross Jansen, and the afternoon rounded out with multiple breakout sessions focused on soil health, market outlooks, and pest management. Kansas Grain Sorghum leaders also attended the Flickner Innovation Farms Field Day event over in Mound Ridge. The Flickner Farm utilizes technology that will allow for more sustainable practices, and this field day really highlighted these items. Attendees were able to see equipment demonstrations as well as hear reports from K-State research and extension specialists and graduate students. We look forward to visiting Manhattan soon to host our very own Commission Budget Board meetings held on September 1st at the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Thank you, and stay tuned for next time.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and LibertyLink that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
Kansas State University Research and Extension will be hosting a field day September 6th that will focus on pasture management. The event will be held at the Bresner Research Unit in Yates Center. According to Jamie Lynn Farney, Extension Beef System Specialist and current president of the Bresner Pasture Committee, this event will provide real-world results to a variety of management techniques that producers can utilize in their operations, be it stocker production or cow-calf. Topics to be discussed include a summary of current research projects evaluating pasture burn dates of March or April, how the addition of essential oils and mineral affects cattle performance, fly populations, and pasture composition, patch burn grazing, partial season grazing of tallgrass native range with stocker steers, fall grazing tallgrass native range, using sheep for Sericea lespedeza control, remote monitoring of water sources, using technology for pasture and cattle monitoring, and weather forecasting tools. The field day will begin with registration at 9:30 a.m. and conclude by 3 p.m. Lunch will be provided. To register, contact the Southwind Extension District Woodson County office at 620-625-8620.
Rural families are built different. You deal with the highs and lows of rural living. You support your family, your church, and your community. You often work sun up to sun down, and you do these things because you love it. But life isn't always easy.
Sometimes as farmers or ranchers, you're supposed to be this big tough person. You know, like I've got this ground, I've got these cattle, you're not supposed to struggle. Everybody's struggling. And sometimes it's just having that conversation with a friend for them to soften a little bit, to be able to have an open conversation.
There is help for anyone struggling with mental health. Text or call 988 to be connected to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Talk to someone. Above all, don't suffer in silence. For more resources, visit kfb.org/Rural Minds Matter.
Hello and welcome. This is Tanner Burning with Pinion Risk Management. As we turn the calendar over into September and transition into fall, we can't help but see the stress of crops brought on by heat and drier conditions from summer's final month. It is time to address the overall state of the U.S. corn and soybean crop, and we'll see several agencies and scouts giving their estimates over the next month before harvest begins in the Midwest. One of the more followed tours held by Pro Farmer came to their conclusions this week after scouting across 7 states gathering data. Their yield estimates came as 172.0 bushel per acre on corn, 49 bushel per acre on soybeans for 2023-2024 production. In comparison, this is lower to the USDA's August WASDE report, which estimated 175.1 and 50.9 bushel per acre, respectively. With weekly crop conditions declining in the August heat, one would expect the USDA estimate to be reduced. This is something the trade will get to think over and position for in preparation for the September WASDE report Tuesday, September 12th. Meanwhile, prices for December corn futures have settled underneath $5 support, and November beans have held in a firm trading range, testing $14. While the supply side debate pushes on, the U.S. has seen consistent demand for soybeans in our normal marketing time window before it shifts solely back to South America. Meanwhile, in corn, Mexico has been our only buyer for 4 months. The U.S. looks to ramp up sales into the export market going into harvest as their prices become more competitive on the global market. Corn cash basis is beginning to crater as we converge onto the new crop contract, signaling that most cash buyers have their needs met and nearby stocks are good enough to get by with the lacking of demand through the summer. Gradual basis declines through the summer really ramped up as we've seen 50 to 80 cent moves lower in cash basis just this week. For producers of milo, there has been talk of an export program forming with the hope to firm cash basis levels by harvest. When it comes to following day-to-day moves in the ever-changing agricultural markets, we at Pinion Risk Management look to be a trusted source of information for our clients, along with a guiding hand on decision-making and reasoning for a market plan. To learn more about our approach to risk management, please give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Tanner Burning with Pinion, and thank you for your time.
That's our show this week. Be social with us online, kansasagreport.net, or our social media channels. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll be with you next week on the next Kansas Ag Report.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.